Hey, Adam here with Old Santee Canal Park's education team. We're starting a new series. It's called Expedition OSCP. So what we're focusing on, we get a lot of questions about what our trails are like, what our park is like, what we can do, what we can see. So we are going to tackle those questions in series by looking at different parts of the park. I'm going to guide you through different parts of the park. Today's adventure, we are going to go on a walk of the Woodland Trail or the Green Trail to see what we can come across, what we can find. So come with me as we explore the Woodland Trail. So the first thing you need to know about the Green Trail is that it's not handicap accessible. As you can see, the start of the Green Trail has these big stairs that lead right up. So unfortunately, if you're handicapped, you can't access the Green Trail. With that being said, this is one of our nature trails. This is a hiking trail. So if you're going to go on this trail, you need to have good shoes on your feet, and I suggest you don't bring a stroller. A lot of people take a stroller on the Green Trail and it does not work very well. This is a rustic hiking trail. This is one of my favorite trails because of that. So the first stop on our Green Trail, the Woodland Trail, is this observation point right here. And it looks over our beautiful swamp and wetland area. You never know what you might hear standing here. I've just heard a blue jay calling. We have Carolina wrens that call here. So you never know what you can hear. Lots of amphibians as well. They're kind of quiet right now, but later on in the day, you'll also start to hear some amphibians. So this is a great place to just stop and listen. Hey, so a common mistake on the Green Trail is that people go straight right here and end up in our shop area, which is off limits. You want to make sure that you make this turn and don't end up into our shop area. Now, while you're exploring on the trails, you're going to run across signs with numbers on them. The numbers are for your safety. Just in case something were to happen, you would phone the park at 1-843-899-5200 and inform a park attendant that I'm at station 38. That 38 corresponds with the specific point in the map, so we know where we need to send help to. So when you're on the Green Trail, keep your eyes out for tracks. The reason being is that you may not see any animals, but the Green Trail has lots of sand on it and lots of mud, and that's great places for animals to leave behind evidence that they were here. So just for example, this area right here. So if you come down and look at this, you're gonna notice that there's tracks. And the reason they have tracks, and what you'll notice about them, is that they have 5 parts to them, just like our hand. They look just like our hand. And that's raccoons. The reason that raccoons have 5, just like ours, is because they have opposable thumbs, just like we do. So that gets them into a lot of trouble, because they can use their hands just like we can. So keep an eye out for raccoon tracks. So another cool sight on the Green Trail is lots and lots of ebony jewel wings. So these are damselflies. And you can tell they are damselflies is because when they can land with their wings together. Versus dragonflies, they have to land with their wings straight out like an airplane. So these are a beautiful damselfly with black wings and shiny green bodies. So there are lots of them on the Green Trail. I don't know if you can see them all fluttering around. So keep your eyes out for ebony jewel wings. A spider you may run across, it is called a golden orb weaver or banana spider. This spider is completely harmless to humans, so if you run into their web, there is nothing to worry about. So another fun arachnid you may run across is a wolf spider. So these are one of the largest spiders in South Carolina. So definitely keep your eyes out for these guys. Another exciting thing to find is scat, because you never know what made the scat or what's going to be using the scat. So in this case, you can see dung beetles. So the dung beetles are trying to roll up the scat, and that's either going to be their food or they're gonna lay the eggs in the scat in order to make food for their larvae. Pretty cool. Another insect you may run across is this butterfly right here called southern pearly eyes because of the eye spots on its wings. It's very camouflage, so you're gonna have to keep a sharp eye out for it. So another thing you want to be paying attention to is the weather on the green trail, because if it's rained a lot or is going to rain a lot, this trail gets very wet. That's why there's bridges on here. So you just have to be mindful of the weather conditions before going out on the green trail. So you want to be very careful getting off the trail on the green trail. The reason being is because on the sides of the trail is poison ivy. You have to be very careful, all right? Remember, poison ivy, leaves of 3, let it be. Now, poison ivy, the way you can identify it is the oven mitt shape to the leaf. So this is poison ivy. So be very, very careful when you're walking on the green trail to stay on the trail. As you're walking down the green trail, you're gonna notice some grass that's growing along the side of the trail. That is called switch cane. It kind of looks like bamboo, but bamboo is an invasive and non-native plant. This is a native plant that grows in South Carolina, and it's very, very common, but it's elevation dependent. So as you walk along the green trail, you're gonna see it appear and disappear depending on the elevation. Another plant you'll run across is this tree right here. This is a very, very common tree. This is called sweet gum. And what's cool about it is it produces these little gumballs that you'll find around the ground. They look like a bunch of little bird beaks. Now this tree gets its name sweet gum because back Native Americans, they didn't brush their teeth, so their mouth would always hurt them. So they would take the sap of this tree and rub it on their gums, and it would make their gums feel better. Another cool critter you may run across is this. It's called a red-sided flat millipede. When disturbed, they do something really cool. They'll actually produce cyanide, which is toxic. And if you disturb them, sometimes they'll smell like cherry Coke or almonds, because that's the cyanide smell. Another flowering plant to keep your eye out for is Virginia spiderwort. It has these 3 petals and comes in a purple to a violet color. Another important thing to remember when you're on the green trail is to make sure you have the proper footwear. When you're walking on the green trail, you're going to want to have good hiking shoes. The reason being, as you can tell, the green trail has some major elevation changes. So you're going to want to make sure you have the proper footwear in order for you to have a good time. This plant, whether it's flowering or not, you can always identify by its large leaves. This is called bear's foot because its leaf resembles a bear's footprint. Another common mistake on the green trail is to go off the trail. The Biggin Creek Bike Trail runs parallel to our trail, and people get on it because they venture off of the trail. And you don't want to do that because that will get you lost. So make sure you stay on the green Woodland Trail. So when you come to the end of the green trail, you'll see one of these signs, and you'll see a fork in the road. The fork in the road will lead you either back to the interpretive center if you go right, or it'll lead you to the old canal if you go left. Thank you for joining me for our first edition of Expedition OSCP. Hopefully you learned something about the Woodland Trail or the Green Trail, and we hope to see you out here enjoying the park.